Hello and welcome to Women's Football Talk. Today we're starting a new thing of ours. Throughout the season we're going to be highlighting one player that stood out in the WSL, and this week, obviously being match day one, it only goes to one player, and that is of course Kiko Seike of Brighton and Hove Albion. The Japanese international managed to bag herself a hat-trick on debut, becoming the first player in WSL history to score a hat-trick on their debut. So let's have a look at Seike's performance a bit more, as Brighton and Hove Albion managed to beat Everton 4-0 and Dario Vidicic's side went to the top of the table. Seike played 88 minutes, scoring herself 3 goals in what was an absolute fantastic performance. 2 of those goals could potentially end up being goal of the season contenders because they were just absolutely outrageous goals, and I think they easily could win goal of the season. She had 4 shots on target, so only one of her shots didn't end up in the back of the net. Attempted 4 dribbles, 3 of them were successful, 47 touches, 83% on her accurate passes, and was just absolutely brilliant for Brighton and Hove Albion on their debut. Now, the one thing I had about Brighton heading into this season was who's going to score the goals for them. Now that Elizabeth Turland has left, now that Katie Robinson has left, there was a big void for Brighton to fill, and Seike has come in and done that so well so far. Now, if you look a bit at Kiko Seike, in the Japanese league last season, that is the 23-24 campaign, she was the league's top scorer with 20 goals in 22 matches, as Ururu Reds ended up winning the WE League, and she was voted the league's MVP. So if you were able to obviously follow the league over in Japan and have seen what Seike has been able to do, you know she is a goal scorer for the Japanese side, where she's been playing for the past 10 years, managing to score 59 goals in 168 games for them. And it really is over the last couple of seasons where she has managed to prove herself as a proper goal scorer, because for the national team she's deployed more in a defensive position, so you're not really seeing her score the goals for the Japanese national side. So if people have watched her at the World Cup or in previous games for Japan, you won't have known her being so far forward. So seeing her in a wing/forward role for Brighton is obviously a benefit for her because she knows how to score the goals, but a bit of a surprise because obviously, like I said, playing for the Japanese national side, she is a much more defensive player. But for Brighton, it is absolutely a brilliant way for them to get the season started, and how they had her lined up was also quite interesting. She was played on the right hand side, alongside you had Fran Kirby in there as well, and a couple of other players, where it just looked really fluid for Brighton throughout the game. They looked in complete control against Everton, and it was something I think Dario Vidicic's side can be really happy with. Obviously, against some of the bigger teams, like last season's top 4, it's going to be harder for them to play this style of football that they play. But against the rest of the league, they definitely should be trying to play that style of football. And I think Seike can definitely help them play that way. And if she continues, obviously we're not expecting her to score 3 goals a game for the next 21 games across the WSL, but if she can continue scoring goals freely for Brighton throughout the season, it's definitely something that can help them, because you would expect the likes of Fran Kirby, who also managed to score on the weekend, to score for them. You'd expect Nikita Paris when she gets her game time, and other players as well. So I think the way Seike was definitely deployed in this one is something that Dario Vidicic's side can take a lot of pride in, and I think it's something where we can expect to see Seike continuing to shine throughout the season. Obviously, she's not young, 28 years old. It's something that Brighton, obviously, in the future will be thinking about. But for now, over the next couple of years, if she can continue scoring goals, providing chances for Brighton, then it's something that is definitely going to be a massive, massive help for them, because it was a really big problem for them. They're on their 6th manager in 20 months. Their goals have been drying up. Obviously, Elizabeth Turland massively carried them last season, scoring half the team's goals. So if Seike can do that type of performance where she's scoring 1 or 2 goals and they've got other players scoring goals throughout the season, then it's going to be a good year for Brighton and Hove Albion. And I think what we can expect from Seike going forward now, a lot of players are going to be on watch of her now after scoring that hat-trick at the weekend. A lot of players may not have known her in the WSL, and obviously she's going to come up against much tougher defences than what Everton put up against her, because if we're looking at it from an Everton point of view, they really didn't do much to stop her. She was allowed free runs into the box and was able to create a lot of danger and panic for the Everton defence. So it's something that I think when she comes up against top of the range defenders, you look at the likes of Chelsea, Arsenal, Manchester City, that's where we're going to be having to see, can Seike still shine? Obviously, it's going to be harder for her to score the 3 goals because you're coming up against better players, international-wise, experience, title-winning defenders as well. So it's something that I think if she can still put in good performances, maybe get a couple of assists to her name, is something that is going to be massively helpful towards Brighton throughout the season. And obviously, it's just something for her herself and being consistent, showing her worth to the WSL and being proven right as to why Brighton brought her in. Because obviously, you're not going to be a bad player if you're scoring 20 goals in the Japanese league and you're voted the league's MVP. You're obviously a good striker. You know how to play football. So if she continues to do really well for Brighton, I think on a personal level, it's going to be helping her out massively. But obviously, big thing for her, creating WSL history, becoming the first player to score a hat-trick on debut in the WSL is something that she will definitely remember for the rest of her life. In the meantime, make sure you like and subscribe and turn on the post notification bell so you never miss a video of ours. Make sure you check out our Substack page. It's a free newsletter. So womensfootballtalk.substack.com. We have plenty of articles going out over there. And make sure you follow us on Twitter or X, WF Talks, and on Instagram, Women's Football Talk, all one word. In the meantime, we'll see you soon.